Okay, so this lesson is talking about angles and unit angles. So an angle are measured in degrees. And this is not degrees like the weather outside. I know that's a little bit confusing, but it's the same symbol in everything. It's that little circle right there. Angles are measured in degrees, meaning how big or how small the angle is. And I'll show you in just a second more in depth of that. A unit angle, that's the same concept as a unit fraction. Remember, a unit fraction was just one piece. 3/4, the unit fraction of 3/4 was 1/4, 3 times. So a unit angle is pretty close to the same thing, except it is an angle that cuts off one out of 360 of a circle and is measured in 1 degree. So it's just the same way as a fraction. Now, a whole circle. Here's my circle as best as I can. This whole circle is 360 degrees. And that's how you write it, that little dot there. A whole circle is 360 degrees. Now I can divide this circle, like a clock almost, or a piece of pizza, into 4. This guy right here, boop, boop, that little square, that's called a right angle. And this circle, if I were to divide it up, would have 4 right angles. And a right angle is 90 degrees. A lot of shapes will have right angles in them. Now, a circle cut in half, basically you're just doing half of 360. If I were to put a line through it, I'd have my little point in the middle to show that's where my line starts. And I make this little kind of Pokemon ball kind of shape thing, but only on one side, not both. Half of a circle is 180 degrees. So if I were to use these as like my guide, a whole circle is 60 degrees, half of a circle is 180, and a circle cut into fourths is 90 degrees. Let's say I were to have a circle that had 1/6 taken of it. How would I figure out what degree that is? How would I figure that out? First off, I can tell it is not 90 degrees because there's no right angle there. That right angle makes that perfect little corner of a square. I'm just going to do division. In all, the whole circle is 360, right? So if I were to do 360 divided by 6, that's going to get me 60. So 1/6 of this circle is 60 degrees. Okay? What if I was dealing with 1/9 of a circle? I'm not even going to draw it. I'm just going to do the math for this. If I were dealing with 1/9 of a circle is divided, right here, a circle is divided into 9 equal parts. What is the angle measure of one of those parts? Okay, all of those parts equals 360 degrees. If it's been divided into 9 parts, well, 9 goes into 36 4 times, add my 0. So that means each part is 40 degrees. What if the angle cuts off 1/8 of a circle? Okay, if I'm focusing on 1/8 of the circle, again, I'm just doing 360 degrees divided by 8. Well, this time 8 can go into 36 4 times because 8 times 4 is 32. 36 minus 32 is 4. Drop that down. 48 can go into 40 5 times. So that means 1/8 of a circle is 45 degrees. So really all of this is just doing some simple division. Now, if you come in and you do number 5, we're looking here. We're trying to find 1/5 of the circle. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to take 360 divided by 5. 5 can go into 36 7 times. Do my long division here, bring that down. 5 can go into 10 2 times. So 1/5 of a circle measures 72 degrees. Getting the hang of it, right? It's really not that bad. So when we're looking at unit angles, we're looking at one part of a circle, we're just doing some long division, and it's always with the same number. So all you have to do when you're given one of these problems is you look at the denominator. Now, sometimes it's a little tricky. And on number 6, it says the angle cuts off 3/8 of the circle. So now I'm going to have to do a little extra work here. I'm going to have to figure out what 3/8 would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3/8 for number 6. The angle cuts off 3/8 of the circle. I just did the math. Somewhere up here, that 1/8, here it is, 1/8 is 45 degrees. So I've already done that math. I don't have to go back and redo it. If 1/8 is 45 degrees, what's 3/8 going to be? Well, 45 3 times. I'm doing multiplication on this one. So 3 times 5, 15, carry my 1. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 135. So if 1/8 is 45 degrees, 3/8 is 135 degrees. Cool, right? Not so bad. So when you're given a unit fraction, take your denominator, divide it, 360 divided by your denominator. And then if you're given a fraction that's more than 1 as a numerator, you're just taking those unit fractions and multiplying it by that numerator. Okay? You got this.